They certainly are. We needed all 7 of this best of 7 in the Western Conference. Thunder and Spurs has been a Hooper's delight. Sunday did not disappoint. Both squads came in dressed in all black, ready for a funeral. One team would end up going home in this do-or-die matchup. Early first quarter, OKC down 4. Chet Holmgren. Floater does not go. That would end the Chet Holmgren portion of this here highlight. You ain't going to see a whole lot more of him other than him getting posterized. Speaking of, on the other end, Wemby all over Chet Holmgren. This is how you get things going if you are the Spurs. Wemby puts him on a poster. San Antonio goes up 6 with that bucket. We are just getting started halfway through the first. Stephon Castle is going to help his man Devin Vassell out off the backboard. May have wanted to get that counted as an assist. We're not really going to actually delve into that. OKC this postseason, first time trailing at the end of the first quarter at home. We move to the second quarter where SGA took over. Off the handoff, hits the 3. Cuts it down to a 8-point game a little later. Working in the mid-range, splitting the defenders. Straight to the rack he goes to flush that home. It's a 6-point lead for the Spurs. Under 4 minutes left in the half, SGA with the jumper. It's a 2-point game, and a few minutes later, he's dropping dimes. Lou Dort top side 3 is cash. We're tied at 49. Next OKC possession, Jalen Williams, the bucket, and their very first lead of the game for OKC. SGA in the second quarter scored or assisted on 18 of the Thunder's 28 points. Thunder up 2 there. 10 seconds left, though. It's Wemby with an unbelievable fadeaway. The big fella has the Spurs up 3 at the break, and they are 8-0 when leading at halftime this postseason. Third quarter action. SGA getting downhill, but denied by Wemby. The alien was working, but SGA was working harder at this point. He gets that one to go. OKC within 3 halfway through the third. Julian Champagnie wide open and cash. He had 20 points, was 6 of 10 from 3, and the Spurs are up 8 there. Few possessions later, Wemby on the wing, a 3 of his own. Becomes the first player in NBA history with 15 threes and 15 blocks in a playoff series. This is the Western Conference Finals. You are getting the guys to show up that you absolutely need to, including Jalen Williams with that 3. OKC down 3 going into the fourth quarter, and in that final frame of regulation, we had more haymakers to chart. This felt like a dagger in the moment. Wemby styling on Jalen Williams and hitting the 3, but Wemby fouls. Isaiah Hartenstein here would have to head to the bench after picking up his 5th foul. So halfway through the fourth quarter, who are you going to lean on? The other half of French Vanilla. Luke Cornett with the block, and on the other end, Castle makes it a 4-point swing. Cornett talked about that block post-game. He has some thoughts. We're going to share them with you. In any case, a few minutes later, Harper hitting the triple. Spurs up 12, but OKC would try to battle back. Cason Wallace, 3 of his own to bring him within 6. And still at that margin, under 20 seconds left. Wallace tries again. This one does not go. The Spurs take it to the other end of the court. Ain't no pleasantries being exchanged, baby. We flushing this one home. The emotions start to pour out for all of the Spurs, especially that man, Wemby. They win 111-103 and will take on the Knicks in the finals. So let's hear from the alien.
Winning the Larry O'Brien, it's a childhood dream. And having a real shot at it, having a chance, tangible chance at winning it, at realizing a dream, it's a chance. It's a lifetime chance, you never know when it's going to happen again. But it's, the day we win it, speaking for myself, it's going to be an amazing day of, realization of a dream, It's hard to put into words. It's almost like the meaning of my life, You work, all these hours we put in, it's for these type of emotions. I want that. I want to win so bad. It's like my life depends on it.
This team has now been pretty damn consistent for a long time, for over 100 games for the most part. And so I'll take those things with the experience that we've gone through when you want to look back in terms of how we started the year, how we got to the Cup on the road versus Denver and LA, what we did in the Cup, playing these guys around Christmas time a few times, expectations. We've played in 3 playoff series without Victor, without Fox, multiple games. I don't know who has as much experience as we do this year in the season of 2025-2026.
What do you think this means for Pop, and how important is it for you to have these moments for him?
I can't answer that question. I don't know what it means for him. That's a guy who's got more experience as a coach than almost anybody and has been through so many things in his career and so many things right now as El Jefe. He goes through some things we can't even imagine. So I need to call him. I need to see him. I need to talk to him. Because there's no way I can understand right now, how he feels.
With the emotion that brother is toting with this winning, it feels like it might be a wrap for the rest of y'all. In any case, the Spurs, 4th team to beat a 1 seed on the road in games 1 and 7 of the conference finals. 2018 Warriors over Houston did it as well as the 2005 Pistons over Miami, plus the 2002 Lakers over the Kings. A good omen for Spurs fans. The West teams, LA and Golden State, went on to win the title. Let's hear from the previous title winners, the Thunder.
I feel like we were able to, get to a lot of really good spots, and we moved the ball well, and found guys with advantages. We just weren't able to convert enough of them into points.
They were just a better team tonight, from start to finish. And then every time we tried to cut into it and take control of the game, it felt like they had an answer. And a lot of times it felt like it was tough shot making. So hats off to them. They have the makeup for sure. You don't beat us without the makeup, and they beat us, so they have the makeup to go get one. We just have to take it one day at a time from here on out. Try to get better this summer and be a better team than we were this season than last season. And try to get back over the hump.
This here loss ends a handful of Thunder postseason streaks. It's their first time losing consecutive games in over 2 full calendar years, and the first Game 7 home loss in Thunder history. For the 8th consecutive season, we will have a different champion, extending the longest streak in NBA history.
We now welcome in Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A., the Spurs win Game 7, advancing to their first NBA Finals since 2014. What did you see from this team down the stretch?
A lot of poise, a lot of courage, big-time shots from shot makers that you wouldn't expect to operate in the Game 7, considering their youth. Wemby, big-time shots. De'Aaron Fox, a big-time shot. Penny coming off the bench to give you 20 actually started. I mean, you just look at what they was doing here. He's had 20 points. He showed up and delivered. Dylan Harper showed up and delivered. It was just a collective effort. 7 players scoring in double figures for the San Antonio Spurs. They didn't sit around and play the role of spectator as Victor Wembanyama did his thing. No, they knew he would need help, and they stepped up and they delivered in the Game 7. It helped that Jalen Williams and obviously A.J. Mitchell wasn't available for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But in the end, in a Game 7 on the road, considering the youth that exists on this San Antonio Spurs team, you got to give them a boatload of credit for doing what they did tonight. They really, really looked good. They stepped up and they showed that they were made for the moment. And you got to give them their props. It was really impressive.
For the Thunder, their depth got tested, and unfortunately, they fall on the losing side of this here equation. Their chance at repeating ends in the conference finals for them. So what was different about this year's postseason run for OKC?
Well, the fact of the matter is you didn't have Jalen Williams, J-Dub, the backcourt mate of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for pretty much all of these playoffs. He really only played in about 3 games. He wasn't really, I'm talking about this entire postseason. He wasn't that effective. And Shai Gilgeous shows up, he gives you 35, and he has virtually no help. Alex Caruso only hit 3 of 14 shots. And Chet Holmgren was such a no-show that they sent an APB out for him during the game. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. It was an awful no-show on his part to just attempt about a couple of shots for the game, knowing that Victor Wembanyama, a nemesis on a prep level for this man, was out there doing his thing. It is a real indictment against Chet Holmgren and the no-show that he was in tonight's game. And as a result, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Oklahoma City Thunder, rife with picks from now through 2032, I believe it's like 13 first-round picks and 16 second-round picks they have as draft capital at their disposal. It wouldn't surprise me at all if they were looking in a different direction, looking to move Chet Holmgren to get somebody that can help offensively on that front line, because Victor Wembanyama is not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. He's going to be around a long time. And if you want to capture another championship in Oklahoma City, you got to deal with that man.
I don't know if there's any amount of help that's going to save you from a brother that's 7'4", hitting crossovers and step back of a game 7. So, Stephen A., we appreciate it. We're going to spin this thing forward and see how they're going to do against those Knicks later on. Stick with us, please.
All right.